Hello and welcome to day 3 of our 5 pound weight loss challenge. I'm so excited you're here. Um, and you're moving forward, you're learning new things, you are just trying, and I just so appreciate that. And this is my favorite topic today, that just talking about food and blood sugar and learning how to eat in a way that's best for your body. So, um, there's so much here. And even from last year, my perspective on this has changed a lot, if you know me and follow me. So I was reading my notes, and I'm like, wow, I've really learned and grown. And today is all about discussing the right strategy to help you decide what you should eat, when you should eat, all of those things. So the focus is always whole food, low inflammatory diet. When I tell my patients, they're like, I don't know what to eat. And I'm like, actually, you do. So if I handed you a Pop Tart or a salad, what do you think you would benefit your health the most, right? You'd probably say salad. Same with a glass of wine or a glass of water. You know to drink water. So we already know what to eat. The struggle is finding that timing, finding patterns that work for us, and even finding the foods that work for us. Because for me, a salad would destroy me and a Pop Tart would probably make me feel a lot better. And that's because of learning my health and what my body needs. So, in my notes, my original one says 20 to 30% of your plate should be protein, either plant based or meat. 70-80% should be veggies. Some people can handle a small amount of carbs, and we want to emphasize to eat clean protein. And now, after being carnivore, and then I call it my meal plan Carnivore Plus, because I'm still experimenting and what helps my gut the most. 80% of my plate, 90 or sometimes even 100% is protein and fat. So what this means is nothing, because it means that you get to experiment and play with what works for you, what feels right for you, what feels best in your body, and everyone's different. So you might do really well with a paleo diet or AIP or vegan or carnivore. Like, there's so many different types of meal plans, and then adapting them to your own is what's really important. But when it comes to clean protein, farmed fish animals can be in a very stressed out state, which causes inflammation in their body. We talk about the medications that we give animals and what they're fed and how they're kept will induce inflammation, and then we take that in and stress and cortisol and infections and parasites and worms. So we do need to be choosy about the foods that we're eating, the types of food, how it's farmed, where it's farmed, how the animals are being treated before they come to us. So that is something really to consider. I do still recommend that eating fresh fiber first, like a salad or your cooked veggies, will prime your digestive enzymes. If you can handle vegetables, if you can handle salads, this would be the time for you. Or you could do something like grab doTERRA's fiber shakes and have that before you eat to get your fiber in, if you don't have the digestive capabilities to be able to handle food fiber, if that makes sense, like me. If you're like the gut person like me, this also helps prevent overeating. When you have more fiber, it helps cut down on cravings. So having fiber first can really help support your blood sugar and your digestive enzymes. Of course, we want to eat as many organic foods as possible. The great place to start is looking at the clean 15 and the dirty dozen, and I'll post those, and it helps you understand that the way our fruit and our vegetables are farmed and how it exposes them to chemicals, and then we're taking those chemicals into our body. So you might be eating the perfect diet, but your food is filled with mold, pesticides, or chemicals, or what have they been exposed to on the trucks and planes and things like that, and that's causing inflammation in your body. And you might need to switch some of the things that are on the dirty dozen over to organic to really minimize that exposure. And this is where I get triggered, because there's a big emphasis on fasting, intermittent fasting. So many social media influencers and people who are health gurus, and even my friends who are functional medicine doctors, post all the time and say, oh, people are just eating way too much food, and nobody should have breakfast, and don't start eating till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And these broad statements are just not working. It's not healthy for everyone. And I want to tell you there's different styles of eating and how you know which one to choose for yourself. And I'm going to post the graphic on here so you can see that too. I would say like 90% of my patients skip breakfast when they start with me, and they grab a coffee. Of course, they have creamer in it. Maybe they go to the drive-through and have a muffin or fast food or junk food, and they don't eat lunch, and they don't eat till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then they're tired and they're hangry and they have no energy, and then they're not sleeping throughout the night, and they're like, I can't lose weight, I don't understand, I'm barely eating. And that's one of the issues. It's one of the many issues. So how should you eat? If you are a person who craves sweets during the day, if you get hangry, like you are irritable if you miss your meals, if you depend on coffee to keep going or get started, if you get lightheaded if your meals are missed, if you feel better after you eat, like you're really tired and cranky and then you eat and then like, oh, I have energy and I'm in a good mood again. If you feel shaky, jittery, or have tremors, if you're easily agitated, upset, or have anxiety, if you have poor memory or you become more forgetful between meals, or maybe your vision's even getting blurry, this means that you have a reactive hypoglycemia, which means your blood sugar is either too low throughout the day or you're going up and down and up and down and up and down. And so when you're at that high points, usually you feel better and you have tons of energy. And then most likely because you ate a bunch of junk like a Pop-Tart or a soda or Starbucks, and then it crashes really fast. And that down point, now you're anxious and you're jittery and you're tired and your brain's not working. And then what do most people do? They grab a soda or they grab cookies or, just something to get them through. And then we do this all day long. What is most beneficial for you would be patterned eating, what I call pattern eating. So you wake up, you have breakfast within 30 minutes of waking up. This is going to stabilize your blood sugar. So you're not doing this pattern, you're doing it nice and across. It's going to boost your metabolism, so you're going to have more energy. The thing is, these people, and this is me, you wake up and you're not hungry. The thought of food makes you nauseous. So you need to eat something small. I like to make like half of a protein shake. Drink half of it when you wake up, 30 to 45 minutes, and then an hour and a half later, finish it. Do small things. And then over time, you're going to find you're actually hungry when you wake up. And that makes you mad because then you have to make breakfast and take all this time. It's such a pain in the ass. But you're going to want to eat every 2 to 3 hours. And this is going to keep your glucose levels, again, nice and stable. Instead of hungry, angry, jittery, crashing, all just going up and down all day. It's going to keep you nice and steady. And then the more nice and steady you are, the more your cortisol, your stress hormones are steady. So this is going to keep the emotional spikes and the anxiety spikes to a minimum, and is also going to help you sleep through the night. And if we have time, I'm going to talk about this, okay? Now, on the opposite side of this, if you feel tired after you eat, if you crave sweets during the day, if you eat sweets but you don't feel better, like you don't feel more energy or your stomach stops hurting, things like that, you have to have sweets after meals. If your waist girth is equal or larger than your hip girth, if you're going to the bathroom a lot, frequent urination, increased thirst and appetite, you have difficulty losing weight, you are on the high blood sugar, hyperglycemia side. This is the pre-diabetes, diabetic type situations where your blood sugar just never either comes down, it stays too high, the insulin's not able to get the glucose into your cells for nutrition, so it stores it as fat. Fasting and intermittent fasting are highly beneficial for people with prediabetes and diabetes. So you can go ahead and skip breakfast, maybe. What I do find, of course, you can be both. You can have all of the symptoms of hypoglycemia and all the symptoms of hyperglycemia and go, Alison, I fit in both categories. So what I recommend for most people is to start with pattern eating, no matter who you are. Just get food in your system, get your body used to having the right amount of calories and the right amount of protein and fat. And then if you're on the high blood sugar side, After about a month or two of that, you can switch to playing with food, maybe like keto, something like that. And then after a month of that, when you become more fat adapted, move into intermittent fasting. The other things that play into this is hormones. Female hormones are a big deal, and how strong your adrenals are. So when 5 or 6 years ago, I started learning about intermittent fasting. And there a lot of heavy research came out about it with diabetes. It was so cool, and I was just obsessed with it. And I thought, well, this is just so easy. I can finally skip breakfast. So I started intermittent fasting, and my husband did as well. We had our tiny little windows, and he lost like 20 pounds in the first month, and I gained 20 pounds. I was so mad. And the reason is because I have reactive hypoglycemia. I had hormone issues at that time, and I had gut issues. So not eating actually stored more fat and wrecked my hormones. And so don't feel like you have to stop eating or you have to do intermittent fasting. It doesn't mean that it's healthy or right for you. You might wreck your hormones, you might wreck your adrenals. So make sure you get help in understanding your body when you start choosing your meal patterns and your timing, okay? Each one will liberate more fat, but again, it depends on your symptoms. Fasting can be incredibly beneficial. There's so much research on it. It can decrease inflammation, support cellular health, reset autoimmune conditions, and so much more. It gives our digestive system a chance to heal. It allows our liver and our kidneys to process more, just like we talked about. The more in the parasympathetic state, the more blood's going to go to your liver and your kidneys and your brain, all of that good stuff. So I'm going to talk about fasting in a second. So if you choose intermittent fasting, you need to make sure you're getting enough calories in. I would say my practice for the past too many years now is I see a mix. I like people to track their foods for me on MyFitnessPal. Number one, to make sure they're getting enough food. I see people typically are either eating under 1,000 calories or not getting enough food to sustain their body, their pregnancy, their breastfeeding, their hormones, like their brain. And then I see people who are eating way too much. They're in the 3,000, 4,000 calorie plus section. So tracking just to see where you are without changing anything. Are you getting enough calories as you are right in this system? Okay. And then you can make those adjustments from there. So fasting, doing a full fast can be really beneficial for most people, whether you're low blood sugar or high blood sugar. The research shows if you're reactive hypoglycemic, fasting for 5 or 10 days will reset that system for you. And same with the high blood sugar, prediabetes. Now, it always depends on your general state of health, your immune system, your adrenals, your hormones, any autoimmune conditions, right? So I'm speaking very generally when I'm talking about big fasts. Fasting meaning just water, or just a homemade juice fast where you juice your own vegetables and things like that. A 3-day, 5-day, 10-day, and then 25-day fasts are my limits. I know people who've gone a lot longer, and that was great for their health, right? That's what they needed to do. And without the boring charts, we're always taught that our cells are insulin dependent to get sugar into them. But all of our cells also have non-insulin dependent triggers as well. So when you think about our cell, it has kind of like lock and key mechanisms, and then enzymes come in, hormones come in, it tells the cell what to do. So with insulin comes into the trigger. Essentially the way I kind of always picture in my head, the cell opens up and it helps transport glucose in. But we also have other transport enzymes that will come in and lock in. So you might not have insulin dependent diabetes or high blood sugar. It just might be something else going on in the system. So fasting will help decrease the number of non-insulin dependent receptors, so that way you get more sugar and more nutrition into the cells, less being stored as fat, you reduce cravings, you reduce that hangry feeling, it stops that cascade. And I can't tolerate a full fast. I've tried where it's just water. My system needs something in it. So I do actually recommend Prolon, which is a fasting program, but you get small amounts of food. It's just enough to drive you crazy. I've done it twice, and it was really good for my digestive system. I did lose a little bit of weight. It was great for inflammation and pain, and I think I already said gut reset, but it was great for my gut reset. So that way, let me see, you get like different soups and you have a special electrolyte drink, and olives are a big deal. So it's basically kind of like a keto fast with minimal food, but just enough where your stomach's not cramping. And I really liked it. So that is something that I offer my patients who do need to fast, but can't tolerate not having food. Okay. So there's a lot of different options that you guys can partake in. So then after you come off of a fast, so if you, no matter how long, 3, 5, 10 days or longer, you do want to have some time of structured, planned eating where you're eating multiple times throughout the day, to rebuild your adrenals and your nutritional stores. And then as long as your blood sugar is stable, you can start playing with intermittent fasting. And remember that hunger is important, and these are cues that we do need to pay attention to. So when you are hungry, look inside your body and say, all right, am I craving something? Like, I just want chocolate. I just need sugar. I'm hungry and I need a snack. Or are you actually hungry and you're like, okay, so I need nuts or eggs or a salad. Like, I need real food. And then another sign of dehydration is hunger. So that's why everyone says, well, just drink some water if you feel hungry. Not because you're trying to quelch the hunger feeling, but because you might actually be dehydrated too. So make sure you're drinking enough water, ideally half your body weight in ounces. Okay. Do we have a second? Not really. I think I'll do this later. Okay. If you have insomnia and you have anxiety, you need to eat in a patterned style. I feel like whenever somebody asks me, like, what do you specialize in? I'm like, anxiety. I love working with women with anxiety. And I think I posted in here additional info. I have my previous podcast on insomnia, anxiety, and food, and why food and patterned eating will fix your insomnia and your anxiety. So go watch that. Okay. So right now I have a special offer for you, and I know that, like, you're seeing what's possible for you. You know that there's something going on in your body, ready to dig deeper and figure that out. But also you don't want to waste time trying to do it on your own. And that's what I would love to be able to support you with and show you what the rest of your journey looks like. So what I have in my practice right now is your initial consultation is $97, but for this program, I'm giving you a $50 off code, which is in the description of this video. So go grab that. And what we do is you fill out your whole health history, you do your symptom survey form, your brain health survey form, you send me any old blood work that you might have had. I do have the option where you can upgrade and get your current blood work done. And that's done so cheap. It's about $1,000 panel, and you get it for about $100, which is just amazing. And then we sit down together online, so virtually, over the phone, Zoom. I have quite a few options for that. And you get your plan on how you're going to be able to take care of your body. We talk about food, we talk about exercise, we talk about your hormone plan, we talk about supplements. You don't have to guess on what to take anymore. And then testing that you'll need to keep moving forward to understand what's going on with your body, and then consultation options. So instead of doing the free consultation where we kind of chatted and I had a guess at what's going on, we're not wasting any more time. We're diving in, you're getting instructions and ideas right away. And that's so important to me. And you're going to move so much faster and see results so much more quickly. And that I'm just really excited about that. The other thing that we're offering is discounts on your doTERRA kits. So they actually came out with some new ones called Evolve kits, and that way you're going to get some free stuff from me and a diffuser and support on that journey as well, because we have those products like the fiber and the protein and the greens and the vitamins and stuff to support your hormones and your liver. So that way you're just set up and ready to go, and you don't have to think about anything. And that's what I love about these programs. So if you're interested in moving forward with either your oil kits or consultations, shoot me a message if you want to chat real quick first. You can schedule online with the link that's in here as well. And I'm just so glad that you're here. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm here to support you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.